Recapping what we did, so we've got our meat mixed in, we've got everything ground up, so we need meats that weren't ground, we ground them and mixed them in. Then we've got our vegetables that we ground up as well as our fruit, and that's mixed in. And then we cracked our eggs, scrambled them, that's now mixed in. Look over here, so the eggshells, remember we saved, we cleaned them, we're going to save them. We're going to get them dried out, and then we'll show you later how to grind them up because eggshells is a great source of calcium. So what you look over here, so you can see I put my eggs in a few minutes ago, so it's kind of seeped in. What I like to do is when I'm mixing kind of large batches like this, I put my heavier elements, so my meat's in the bottom, and then vegetables and then the eggs on top, because I find when I mix it by hand, it just makes it it's going to mix a lot better. Whereas I've tried the other way around where I put light stuff on the bottom, heavy stuff on top, and I don't know, for me, I had a hard time mixing. So this is pretty cold, so I use gloves, just a lot easier. Otherwise, if I don't use gloves, then my hands get really cold very quickly, and then I find I have to take one out to defrost it while I mix with the other, so it's just a lot easier to use gloves. Okay, so once we finish mixing, we're going to want to put them in containers that we can freeze. Now we use these 2-quart plastic containers, which work pretty well. We'd really like to get away from plastic, but purchasing glass or any kind of stainless steel is very, very expensive. It's something that we're slowly doing. We're converting to glass. All of our treats that we produce are now glass. The treats that we make our dogs, we put in glass quart jars, but it's going to take time for us to sort of build up, 20 or 30 or 40 of these in glass. So for right now, we put them in containers. And when you do put them in these containers, make sure you don't fill them too full, because as you put them in your freezer, we have a deep chest freezer. They're going to stack up, they'll compress a little bit. So if you get them too full, then they'll compress down, and then they'll come over, and then they'll freeze, and then you'll have a real mess on your hands. So that's what we'll do next. We'll mix, and then we'll put them in these containers.